everyone, it's Clarice and today is Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 Wednesday was created by Lainey at Ginger Reads Lainey, so I will be linking her YouTube channel as well as the Goodreads group for Top 5 Wednesday down below. Today's topic is our top 5 worst series enders. Unfortunately, I actually haven't finished reading a lot of series. A lot of series I've started but I haven't finished, and a lot of the books I read are also standalones, so I couldn't come up with a list of 5. So let's just settle for a list of 4. And upon seeing this topic, I already knew that all my choices would be following a certain theme. Because from my experience at least, dystopian trilogies really suck at endings. And also I do realize that this is a topic that can lead to a lot of spoilers. So at the parts when I feel like there's going to be a spoiler, I'm going to warn you, and then I'm going to put the word spoiler all over the screen. So you can mute the video. And so when I remove the word spoiler, you can unmute the video. Now that all of that is out of the way, let's just get to the books. For number 4, I have to give it to Allegiant, which is the 3rd book in the Divergent trilogy. I don't actually hate it for the reason you may think. Generally, I just found it really boring, and I found that the dual perspective wasn't very well done, so I didn't enjoy this book. I'll go a bit into spoilers now, but actually, I didn't hate that Tris died. I actually was okay with it. The first part of the book was really boring because there was a lot of explanations, and then after Tris dies, I was just getting really pissed with 4 because for me, when Tris died, the story ended, and so I was just waiting for it to end, and then 4 was just being all emo and it wasn't ending, and I was getting really frustrated. But overall, it wasn't a terrible book. It just wasn't very good. For number 3, I have to give it to Requiem. Because what's sad is, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't remember anything that happened in this book. All I remembered was the ending, and that's just because it pissed me off by how vague it was. Moving on to number 2, I have to give it to The Death Cure, which is the 3rd book in the Maze Runner trilogy by James Dashner. This book was so bad. It got worse the more that I thought about it. Actually, I don't think I hated most of the book. What I hated was that the series as a whole kind of was just building up and adding all these questions, and then by the end of it, they were never really answered. And it sucked because a lot of the things that happened in the 1st book and the 2nd book and part of the 3rd book, I felt could lead up to this amazing ending that just wrapped up everything perfectly, and then they just never wrapped it up. And getting into a few spoilery parts, I kind of really hated that the ending was kind of just a cop-out, and they kind of just magically had this place that was free from all the disease, and then they dumped everyone there. I mean, where did that place come from? So yeah, I generally hated that there was so much build-up and so many questions, and the ending did not answer any of them. The number 1 top worst series ender, I have to give it to Mockingjay, the 3rd book in the Hunger Games trilogy. And I had to put this as number 1 because it was the most disappointing ending I had ever read. And it sucks because I didn't actually hate the book. I just hated the ending. I don't have much to say that isn't spoilery, so yeah, let's get to spoilers. Generally, I don't actually hate this book because Prim died, because I actually like that Prim died. It was bad for my heart, but it was good for the story, if that makes sense. I actually loved how ironic it was that in the start of the book, Katniss did all of this to save Prim, and then in the end, she ends up dying anyway. And it was kind of beautiful how ironic it was. What I hated was everything that came after. I remember being so confused, and I had to read that page over and over and over again because I wasn't sure what was happening. I just feel like after everything that she went through, that Katniss kind of regressed and became really weak. It's like this whole time I felt like Katniss was such a strong character, and then at the end she suddenly became a weakling, and I hated that so much. And I also hated that she was with Peeta. I don't have anything against Peeta, it's just that I never felt while reading the story that Peeta was a love interest. I felt like he was really badly friend-zoned the entire time. And I would be okay with Katniss ending up with Peeta if I felt that she had any romantic interest in him, but I never felt that. And in the end, suddenly it's like, oh, Peeta kept bugging me about having kids. So we eventually had kids, yeah. So let's remember all these people by writing their names in a book. It's okay that everyone thinks I'm crazy. I just really didn't like the end. I hated it so much. I mean, I would have understood that Gale ended up sucking really badly in the end, but I just never felt that anything foreshadowed that at all, and like it came out of nowhere. I felt like that whole ending just came out of nowhere, like it was so detached from the rest of the books. Basically, I feel like that ending came out of nowhere and like it was so detached from the rest of the books. And I hated the ending of the Hunger Games trilogy so much because I loved the rest of the Hunger Games trilogy so much. So anyway, those are my top 5 for worst series endings. Do you agree with my list? Do you have any other series endings that I should watch out for? Anyway, thank you so much, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!